This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well, because I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you very much. This is the 58th episode of the MFer Podcast. I thank you very much for joining me on this journey we're about to go on together. We're going to hold hands. We're going to skip down Candy Lane. It's going to be marvelous. I'm glad you're here for it. Yeah, quiz. It's good to be here. It's good to be back. Good to be back on the air. I did do a game stream earlier this week that no one really watched, but that's okay. I'm gonna, dance around the waters or try some different stuff. We're gonna tiptoe through the tulips. As I said, this is the MFer Podcast. It is episode 58. It is also streaming on Rumble. If you're just too base, if you're just too right-wing, MAGA, aggressive alpha man, and you don't want to be on YouTube with all the libs, you head on over to Rumble. It's also on Twitter, and tomorrow morning will be available anywhere you get podcasts. So, that's just helpful information. And if you want to press like, that would be appreciated. Help boost the algo, comment, say some stuff. I don't delete comments. It might be a lot of power to give you, but I don't do it. I don't. And I've only ever had to block one person. Just one. And there was that weird British guy who loved time travel movies and sounded really interesting and elegant and articulate for about 8 minutes. And then you're just like, this guy's out of his mind. He's a total nut job. And anyway, anywho, who cares? Whatever. We're here. We're talking. We're having conversations about shit. Who's here? Cotton. What's up, doggy? Good to see you. Low Spec. Low Spec actually was in my game stream, and so is Dildo. Speaking of which, hello. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you, fellas. Good to see all the boys gathered here to have a little fun, have a little shit talky, eh? Good to see you guys. I had a pretty good weekend. I saw Shane Gillis in San Antonio. Hello, Mike. What up, Mikey? I saw Shane Gillis in San Antonio on Friday night, and let me tell you what, that was a hell of a show. Hell of a show. I love Shane Gillis. I think I've made that quite clear. I've played clips here. I've referenced my appreciation of him many times throughout the years. I think he's awesome. And I'd seen him at the Comedy Mothership before. I listened to his podcast, all that good stuff. Well, my ex hit me up and was like, hey, listen, this friend of mine, she last minute lost the tickets. I've always wanted to see Shane. Do you want to go with me to San Antonio? And I was like, yeah, all right, fine. We didn't have to pay full price or anything. We'd drive down. It's like an hour and a half. Like, no big deal. And, I'm happy to see him, He's playing the Frostbank Arena, by the way, which is where the San Antonio Spurs play. And then the next night he went up to Dallas and played where the Mavericks play and the Stars. Crazy, dude. Selling out legit stadiums all over the country. Wow. But anyway, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'm excited. Like, I like Shane, but, I feel like comedy in a stadium, it's not really the right venue for it. I kind of prefer clubs. I feel like I like that vibe. It's just more intimate. It's more real. It's more raw. I just kind of feel like when you get into a stadium like that, you got to kind of soften some of the edges and play up the more, broad parts of your persona and your jokes. Not a problem with Shane Gillis, actually. He went in really hard. He didn't hold back at all. And it was an outstanding show. In fact, I really think that is the proper venue for Shane. That he shined. He was better. I saw him at the Mothership like a year and a half ago with Mike from the chat. Mike from the chat. And we had a good time. We were both pretty drunk. I was really drunk. Had a good time. Liked the show. Liked Shane. But I swear to God, man, him in the stadium, it's like he's born for that. Like that's like the pinnacle of his act. Like that's where it really flourishes. I did not anticipate that. I didn't expect that. I expected to like it, but I didn't expect to like love it and like have like a whole new level of appreciation for this guy that I've already been a big fan of. Already been a huge fan of, and now I'm like, wow, he's even better than I thought. And I did drink. I did break my sober January, but not crazy amounts, so I won't chalk it up to being loaded. I only had a few pops or whatever. But yeah, I had an absolute ball at that show. If you get a chance to see Shane, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm thinking, I'm in Austin. At some point, Shane will drop into bottom of the barrel, or he'll be at the Mothership, and I'll just be able to just get regular tickets for. Like, why would I spend all that money and go to a stadium? No, going to the stadium's the right call. That ruled. Absolutely ruled. Probably I don't want to say the best comedy show I've ever seen, but one of them. Definitely one of the best comedy shows I've ever seen. Just like a rock star, like a rock show. Awesome. For the dogs, indeed, Cotton. For the dogs, indeed. You're down with the downs. See, don't make that joke. Don't make that joke. Sober January, you're such a baguette. Listen, you always mock me and belittle when I'm like, I drink too much. You're like, no, you don't. It's like, listen, man, I know what I do. I know what I do and what I don't do. And me getting healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. Doing dry January is a good thing. That's a healthy thing. You're a negative Nancy. I want to be healthy, and that's fine. That's fine. Theater shows are best for comedy and music. Yeah, I feel like I don't think I've ever been to a. No, that's not true. I saw Jim Jeffries back in the day. He filmed a special in a theater in New York that I saw when I was young, like 22, 3, something like that. And that was cool. Other than that, though, I haven't really seen many theater shows. I normally just go to like the club. I like the club vibe. But man, goddamn, what a show. Gosh golly, heavens to Betsy. Heavens to Betsy. Oh, you stopped vaping? Oh, good for you. Not me. Not I at all. Drinking less is a good thing. Giving it retarded queer names is not. Whatever. Who cares if it has a name? The point is, you're trying to be healthy. You're drinking less. I've already... it's going to be hard to get back on track there. It's tough, man. Once you get off, once you veer off the path, I was like totally sober, waking up early, hitting the gym, doing everything, man. Once you get off the wagon or on the wagon or whatever the hell the terminology is, it's a little tough to get back on. Anyway, look at you. Look at you. Good for you, Cotton. Stay strong. Don't let this Croatian talk shit, Don't let him, don't let his negativity, just because you're trying to improve yourself, and you're not, Sentient Dildos. No reason to bring us down. Okay, man? All right? Okay? Alrighty. I don't really have much else about... Oh, I do have an announcement. Yes, I do. I have an announcement. I'm going to make a post about it. But last week, I put out a poll that only members could see because, what was it, last week? It was when Sammy Boy and was it Big Ship joined the channel, like as paid members. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, I've had these members for so long. I don't think this microphone's working out. It's too heavy for this mic arm. I can't get it any tighter. Is that better? All right. And I've been having members for a while, like Jake and Man of War, who've been members as long as I've even had that as an option. Office Girl, I think, still. E. Clay Thomason. And now those two fellers. Like, that's ridiculous. What are they paying me for? Just because they like me? Just because they're nice people? That's crazy. They should get something for their money. So, I put out a poll. Was like, do you want to see another solo stream? Just like another bonus ep? Would that be cool? Game stream? Or we're going to basically do, like, if you're familiar with the way Gary does it, Gary Nerdraddick does member streams where members can come on and shoot the shit. And we're going to do that. I think I'll have to check with everybody, but I think I'm going to probably be doing it Thursdays. So it's basically just going to be like another ep of the MFer Podcast, but instead of it just being me, it'll be the members. It'll be public. Probably not forever, probably for like a day or two, and then I'll put it behind members only. But that is happening. That is happening. Foulball Productions member streams, because you find fine people, give me money, and I give you nothing in return. So, so I don't really think that that's right, and I wanted to change that. So that is the big announcement. I will make a post about it. So if you want to join those things, you're going to have to become a member. Any level will do. There's no tiers speciality here. Any member, the most basic is fine, but you got to be a member to join those streams. I look forward to seeing you there. And you get a bonus ep of the MFer Podcast. I mean, what could be better, right? MFer member streams, something like that. Just keep thinking about making dick jokes when I say the word member. Anyway, okay. Got some stories to talk about. Imp. Like, I'm an imp. Did you forget the letter S? Did you forget the letter S, Sentient Dildo? Oopsie daisy. Hey, what's up, Imperatus? Good to see you, brother. Fine people. Here, you drunk or something? No, I'm sober. In fact, I've tried to do all these podcasts sober from now on, drinking or not. I found it, kind of dulled me a little bit. Didn't make me quite as sharp and hilarious with all my amazing insights, No, I just appreciate it. What's up, Lowspec? Good to see you, bruh. Good to see you, man. Yeah, no, sobriety. Sobriety's good. It's good for you. It's good for your mind. Clarity, sharpness, all that good stuff. Oh. I thought you were calling me a simp or something. I don't know. All right, fine. What up, imp? Sobriety blows. I mean, it kind of does, but, you're better when you're sober. At least I am. Anyway, stories. Okay, so I was going to do this one second, but since, Sentient Dildo already addressed it in the chat, with his Zuck posted AI cat with MAGA hat. He is so based. Based is really like woke. It means absolutely nothing now. Okay, so this is what... shut your face. Shut your goddamn face, Imperial. It's good to see you again after all this time, and you just come out swinging. Come out swinging. With friends like these, folks. With friends like these! Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. So Zuckerberg, Zuckerbot, has reportedly made a dramatic heel turn and is no longer the king of propaganda and censorship, will not be running censorship-focused platforms. His new goal is to do a community notes-oriented version of censorship, or whatever, fact-checking, kind of the way X and Twitter does, where it's basically by committee. It's the sort of aggregate, the group aggregate, and people get to kind of vote on the community notes. I think it's a great system on X. I like it a lot. Some really good community notes out there, and it's very hard to get away with bullshit with all that existing. It's like, especially when there's misleading headlines, they'll be like, that headline is misleading. It's this, that, and the other. Like, for instance, when the New Orleans terrorist guy, drove his car into a crowd and started shooting people, the headline would lead you to believe the car just did it. The car just drove. It didn't point out that there was a guy behind the wheel of the car, unleashing mayhem. So it's stuff like that I think is great, and Zuckerberg says that he's not gonna do that anymore. He's on board. He's based, as it were. He's going to be the free speech guy. He saw what Elon did with X, and I guess he wants to just take the reins and continue the righteous fight. So no more third-party fact checkers. The funniest thing was, there was like a post by, I think it was like Facebook, and it was saying that like third-party fact checkers were the reason a lot of stuff got blocked or voted down or whatever, and then there was a third-party fact check that found that as false. That was pretty priceless. I like that a lot. Really thought that was very cool. So this was met with a lot of kind of mixed response. I think at first everyone was kind of like, huh? What? You're not going to censor people? You've been sort of like the hub of censoring people. Now, it seems like good old Zuck has been on a glow up for the past few years. He started doing jujitsu pretty regularly, which is pretty cool. Made him a lot cooler than that sort of awkward, robotic, like lizard-eyed dork that he had been forever. It's kind of cool that he's like, all right, that's pretty badass to like make a jujitsu practice. And he entered a tournament anonymously, which is like, that's cool. That's like an interesting story. He posted that thing on the 4th of July of him wakeboarding while drinking a beer. It was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's like a pretty cool post. A lot better than when he was paddleboarding with all the white, zinc oxide on his face, which just looked retarded. And so, there's been changes. He seems cooler, more normal, and just kind of, like I said, having a glow up. But a lot of people were not so quick to be like, oh, well, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. All the censorship, all the COVID nonsense you pushed, all the laptop suppression, all the censorship you've done all over the years, that was all forgiven now. A lot of people did not feel that way, and I can't say I blame them. It doesn't, okay, yeah, that's totally reasonable. Like, what's his name? Razor Fist. I saw a clip from him on a podcast he does. I think it's called Side Scrollers. And he was talking about that very thing and was illustrating how many times, he donated lots and lots of money to Democratic districts and elections, and was basically trying to influence them to be for the left, for the Dems. So this seems to be a lot of people to be like a little bit a little too late, not very sincere. How did I hear it put? It was like, oh, everyone jumps ship when the water's warm, and there is sort of a general social change in the country coming, whether it's by kind of a popular consensus of people sort of accepting that, okay, I actually do feel this way. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm not going to be quiet about it. Or Trump won, and do you want to be left out in the cold, or do you want to be in the cool kids club? Probably a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. No way to really know what people's true motivations are. The Zuckerberg one is a tough one to think it's really anything other than the latter. Now, I want to frame a few things. One, if you're Zuckerberg and you run this giant social media empire, I mean, Facebook really was the first big social media platform. That was the one that kind of kicked off this whole hellish landscape that we live in of tweets and likes and reposts and censorship and friends and follows and DMs and this god-awful online thing that exists. That was the big one. And I was listening to his Rogan episode because I want to do a little bit of research to hear what Zuck had to say about the matter. And I think what he said, I may have gotten this quote wrong, but I think I'm right. And it was that on a given day, any one of the Meta platforms interacts with 3.4 billion people. That's a feckin' lot. That's a lot of people interacting with a certain platform, right? Now, when the federal government comes to you and says, listen, you got to start doing this shit, I got to be honest, it's probably fairly intimidating to be like, go fuck yourself, Especially for some kind of Silicon Valley dork, So I empathize a little with just the pure intimidation of the feds. You know what I mean? Telling you got to do this stuff. And, there's a lot of bad actors and there's a lot of idiots and a lot of people who lie on the left, for sure. I do, in my heart, believe there are a lot of well-meaning libs who only have one little tiny portion of the story and don't really look outside of that. So when someone says, listen, this is for the good of people. This will make things better, safer, more inclusive, whatever the fuck ever. I think some people believe it. And I would believe that a younger Zuckerberg could. I'm not saying that this isn't an excuse. I'm not saying this is correct. I don't know what he should have done, right? I don't know what I would do. I would love to believe that I would just be the force of free speech, man. Can't tell me what to do, but maybe I would have folded. I don't really know, but I'm just framing it in that regard. On the other hand, it's a little tough to believe that this all just happens to be your personal convictions, and this is kind of how you always felt, but you felt a little pressure to not do it, but you've been raging inside, bro, like the real Chad that you are. Kind of find that pill a little tough to swallow. What are you saying here, Ascension Dodo? All those tech dorks are lolberts who got cucked by deep state and their own middle management diversity hires. Actually, I think that sums it up perfectly. I think that's 100% what it is. And it's now that you kind of let in, the foxes into the hen house, it's a little tough to get them out, right? I mean, the thing is, so many of those people are hired purely, or at least mostly, on the basis of their checkboxing ability, that they happen to be this particular group. Well, those people tend to also be activist-y, right? So now, not only do you have someone who's not really 100% qualified for the job and is a real lawsuit, bait if you fire them, you also have someone who's got like a pretty big chip on their shoulder to now get some things done. They're going to put their work boots on and, start censoring the chuds. They're getting after it, So that ends up happening too. And now you kind of got your hands full with this shit. You're a billionaire with one of the biggest tech platforms in the world. You kind of want it to just kind of go away. And I listened to Zuckerberg's podcast, at least I think the first hour or so, hour and a half maybe of the Rogan thing. Then they started talking about MMA in the middle for a while, which wasn't uninteresting, but it wasn't really why I was listening. And I'll give Rogan a lot of credit in this episode for just listening, just allowing Zucks to speak. And I thought Zuckerberg's arguments were fairly reasonable. I was like, okay, I can kind of understand that. And it was sort of like the way they govern content, where it's just kind of like, let's say you've got a model where we're 90% sure something, like you have a, whatever, drug dealing was the example he used. And it's like, if you want to censor this content or you want to take that account down because they're doing something illegal, how sure are you before you nuke that account? Are you 90% sure, 95, 60, whatever percentage? It's like, well, okay, but that still means 10% of the time you're wrong, even if 90% of, 9 times out of 10 you're right. That's, you multiply that in the magnitude of the amount of accounts that are on the Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, you're going to get a lot of innocent casualties. And I was like, that's a fair point. I think that's fair. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if that is really, it's just kind of like an accounting error, really. I really doubt it, because I don't feel like a lot of liberals ended up with their accounts banned or destroyed. I didn't hear a lot of that. I didn't feel like it was unilaterally placed, but I could still understand the argument. Now, my point, what's up, Zax? My point is, who gives a shit why he's doing it? I don't care. I don't need Zuckerberg to be based, I don't care if this is all an act. And he's just doing it because literally that's the way the wind blows, and he doesn't even have an opinion about these things. He doesn't have any convictions or passions. Sup, big shit? Just singing your praises earlier, brother. The point is... Oh, God, I'm getting texts. I just forgot to put this on Do Not Disturb. The point is he's doing it. And that's what matters, right? I don't know if I care about why his motivations are. What I care about is there's more free speech in the world. And now you have an option to share the things that were illegal, under Biden or Trump 1. Now you can actually, there is another platform where you can spread actual information or challenge narratives, or, the next time there's a COVID thing, you can be like, actually, this is bullshit and here's why. You won't get, your accounts nuked and your livelihood threatened and all that stuff. That's my take on the whole situation. I don't actually give a shit if he means it. All I care is that the platform is actually going to be cleared up from all the bullshit. Who cares why Zuck does it? I don't. I never cared what Zuck thought about anything. Still don't. I just find it's like, all right, good. There's one more platform where you could speak your mind. Now, if we could get them to do it to YouTube, then I'm a happy camper. Then I care. Then I really, really care. It would be great to have a lot of those restrictions lifted, man. They are still... YouTube's still at it. Plus, I think they changed their algorithm. Anyone else noticing this? Like, when I go to my home feed, it's like I feel like I don't recognize like any of the videos that are coming up. I don't see any of the creators I normally follow. It's like I watched one video on an AR-15, and now it's all gun content and military history and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm interested in some of that. I don't want it to be my whole feed, but I heard they rejiggered the algo recently. I don't know. What do you guys think about the whole Zuck's censorship, Facebook nonsense? Was that even worth me talking about? It is kind of a big story, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you care? Are you just like, no, you're a liar, it doesn't matter? Is this all just talk? I don't know how it could be talk, because like Elon buying X, I mean, if it didn't win Trump the election, it strongly influenced it. Once you could start saying what you actually believed, and you didn't have to live under a rock, and there was a point where information can be shared without really any censorship, that affects a lot of things. So, I don't know. Cotton, I'm not on Facebook. I haven't been for years. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I literally have, I think there's a Foulball Productions account that is completely dormant. I don't post on it. I don't want to. Partially because I have it's still kind of connected to my old personal account, which I deactivated, but it's all the same friend groups and stuff. And I have no interest in sharing all my podcast stuff with people that I used to know. They signed up, they friended me or whatever. They didn't sign up to see my podcast shit. I don't want to thrust that on them. They don't deserve that. They seem like nice people. It just feels like unnecessary. It's also like an audience I didn't earn. It's just people that I used to know. I just feel like that doesn't need to mix. That's my own personal feeling. Plus, Facebook is so dated. I don't even know who's on Facebook other than dads and moms and shit. Whenever I go on Facebook and I'm like, there's still people here, I'm shocked. There's still people doing the same status updates. Oh yeah, I went to the market the other day, got some beets. I'm like, whoa, this is still a thing, huh? That's pretty wild. I out of sight, out of mind, man. I also just don't like the dynamics of Facebook. I don't like the fact that it's all oh, look at my kids. Look at, we're having so much fun. Look at all, remember me? We hooked up once 11 years ago. It's like, this is weird. I don't need it. Haven't been on Facebook in about 10 years. Yeah, so much sharing, so many wins, milk and honey, here we come. I don't know, man. I saw an article today about the LA fires on the Daily Mail, and in the picture that they used for the headline was a screen cap of an Alex Jones tweet. Things are going to be different in 2025. If a mainstream media publication is using an Alex Jones tweet as, part of the story that isn't, he's a devil, things are going to be different. That is my feeling. Things are going to be a lot different. All right, doesn't seem like anyone has any thoughts on the Zuckerberg censorship conversation. I thought that was a pretty big story. Guess you don't agree. That's fine. But like I said, my entire thing is I don't care if he's based. I don't care if he's just a secret lib. I care that if he's going to run the platform fair and open, that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for conversation. Now, I will say, I do see on X a little bit how unbridled free speech does come with some issues. Shit is wild there. Shit is a little out of control, to be honest. There's a lot of posting and memes and just really blunt racism that I don't know who that's helping. And it does seem it's a little out of control. So there is the other side of that you do start to recognize that I think, free speech is a two-way street, right? All right. Well, anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole Zuckerberg thing. I thought, such a dose as I agree, the slop will taste so much better. All right. Listen, you want to maintain cynicism? You can go ahead and do that. I'm just curious. I'm just here for the ride as an observer. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You get nailed for dropping F slurs on X all the time? Really? And Melanie Mack can just go on her little rant? That's like her whole thing now? That's like her brand identity is just dropping that word over and over and over again? It's like in a weird way. It almost seems like there's like a fetish there or something. It's very odd. I was just like, okay, all right, sweetie, we heard you. It's a lot. But that's interesting. Oh, I don't know. I never get knocked on X. I never get anything on X. I still have less than 300 followers. I don't know what I have to do on that platform to get any traction, but my account does not move at all. I'm actually kind of sick of it, really. I'm like, what am I doing here? I interact with you and some other people and stuff, but it's just kind of like, what the hell is the point of this? This is stupid. Oh, okay. Imperative says she catches suspensions all the time. Oh, okay. Well, she's going a little hard in the paint, to be completely fair. All right. So, moving right along. Is all art political, folks? That's my question for you today, and I want you to pensively think about this. The reason I bring this up is because I've been seeing this a lot. I remember I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I had a post that went pretty viral on Instagram. It's still going, which I'm surprised by, so it's still racking up views, not quite as fast, but go follow me on Instagram to see all the Instagram stuff. I post it all here too. But I could use some more followers, guys. Get me algo traction. Let's go. Let's bring it to the moon. Wait, Matt, if you change your mind about going to Skankfest this year, holla at your boy. Are you talking about New Orleans? It did cross my mind. I've never been to New Orleans, and I kind of want to go, but it's so much money and so much debauchery. And when I'm done, I'm like feel like my soul has just been kind of removed from my body for a little while. I don't know. Real men don't use Instagram. I like Instagram. I have nothing against it. I think it's a pretty good platform. It's a good place to post and see reels and stuff like that. I follow the comedy reels on Instagram are perfect. I have such a well-tailored algorithm. No whores. I got rid of all the whores. Just comics and based right-wing propaganda, baby. Woo! Let's go. But I like my algo. I like Instagram. I think Instagram's a good platform, and also I'm getting traction there, which is huge because it doesn't really seem to happen anywhere else. I can't really get anyone else to pay attention to me. Oh, it's been the same. Said you dildo for 4 fucking years. Oh, enough. That was good. Oh shit! I think I've been teleported to 2014 with all that. Everything is political B shit, straight out of Vice or something. Okay, right. So let me get back to that. Is all art political? Now, like I said, I bring this up because on that post, I've seen that comment so many goddamn times. And the post is just about, a lot of people who didn't really give a shit about politics, but you kind of kept destroying Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who and video games, and every content just flooded with, left-wing propaganda that everyone's like, all right, you want me involved? I'm involved. I like Trump, and they didn't anticipate that. And so, it was just a clip, like any other clip that I put out that 300 people watch and it goes nowhere and all that type of shit. This one, for some reason, caught traction. But I just keep seeing this comment over and over and over. Is all art is political. All art is political. And I'm like, what is this fucking take? What is this horrible take? Well, earlier today, when I woke up, I was browsing X, as I oft do, because I am a based right-wing MAGA hero. And I saw something about the LA fires, and it said Beyonce was dead. And I was like, what? Beyonce's not dead. So I just Googled it real quick. Beyonce's fine, guys. Have no fear. Beyonce's fine. But what did come up was a quick little segment from NPR. And it was about Beyonce. Now, and it said, is Beyonce spreading propaganda? And I was like, huh, I'd like to hear this take. And it was kind of funny because their take on it was her standing in front of the American flag and being kind of a little bit more positive. That suddenly we're concerned about propaganda. NPR and the mainstream media have been peddling, like, they've had slanted content for most of their existence, but they have been peddling pure, uncut propaganda for the past, 10 years. And now, suddenly, Beyonce stands in front of the American flag, and oh boy, she's spreading propaganda. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So, all the Black Lives Matter, mostly peaceful protests, not propaganda. The 2 weeks to stop the spread, not propaganda. The vaccine will stop the spread and everyone will be cured. None of that's propaganda. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. That's not propaganda. Russian collusion. That's not propaganda. All that stuff. Story after story, year in and year out. None of that was propaganda. The second Beyonce stands in front of an American flag and shows any kind of pride about her country, suddenly the alarm bells go off. Suddenly, we're horrified that a pop star might be spreading propaganda. I mean, whoo! The balls it takes to do that. To stand there with no irony, no wink, no sarcasm, no humor whatsoever and be like, is this concerning? Are they spreading propaganda? I was like, yeah. And at the end of it, they all agreed. The host and the two panelists, the consensus was, well, I think what you're endorsing is more critical thinking about everything that you see. And I was like, sweetie, I wouldn't go down that road if I were you. They might start critically thinking about all the bullshit your platform's been peddling for the past 15 years. I don't think you want that. I think you want zombies. You need zombies. Because if they're critically thinking, you're out of a job, toots. Oh. However, to bring it back to the topic, the fucking black feminist, history of blah, blah, media, blah, blah, woman, said that, well, as Stuart Hall teaches us, all art is political. And I was like, who is this fella? Now, you don't have to Google it, but if you were to Google it, you would learn that Stuart Hall is a sociologist, a cultural theorist, political activist, and Marxist. Oh, what do you know? The people who view the entire world as a struggle between haves and have-nots and power and not power believe all art is political. Oh, what do you know? Color me shocked that the Marxist, sociologist, activist put that on all of art. Yes, precisely the issue, you clowns. It isn't all political. It never was. The second you made it all political is why you're losing, dumbasses. That's the problem. You made things political that weren't political to people who didn't want to engage with politics. Whoopsie! Oh, you thought radicalizing the proletariat would make it work. It didn't. No. Turns out we don't see it your way, stupids. And until you have an authoritarian regime to force that on everyone, you're not going to get it through because it's horseshit. But I thought that was a pretty funny revelation, because I've been hearing that over and over. All art's political. Like, where are they getting this from? Oh, from a communist. Well, shock. All right, what are you guys saying? Imperius, all art can be viewed through a political lens. Doesn't mean it's political, though. No, of course not. That's not the point. You know, political propaganda is boring because it isn't nuanced. It isn't subtle. It isn't complex. It's just ham-fisted, and it's like, I agree with that. Like, that's boring. It's not art at all. Art's supposed to, art can challenge. Art can show you things that aren't your perspective, and then you could take away a new perspective. Then that's not political, jackass. Matt, have you considered getting boobs? There's some that argue I currently do have boobs, Zach. And I would be one of them that would argue that. Zach's she's spreading big booty supremacy propaganda. Listen, big booty supremacy is not propaganda. That's just a fact. That's just water's wet, the sky's blue, mountains are tall, big booties are supreme. Inarguable. Will not hear anything to the contrary. All you boob men. Creeps, all of you. Damn, she's basically Goebbels. Did she stand in front of the American flag proudly? Boy, oh boy. Get the guns, we're going to war. She's the black butt of white supremacy. That's funny. Hey, Wake Down. A helpful insult. Smash that like button harder than Matt's acting career smashed into the wall. Yeah, please do that. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What's Stuart Hall's early life section say on Wiki? No, I believe Stuart Hall is a Jamaican man. He's a Jamaican man. He's from Kingston. Died in London. Went to Oxford. Influences Michel Foucault. Oh, what do you know? How could you have seen that? Karl Marx is another influence. These are shocking revelations. Shocking revelations. Couldn't have ever seen that coming. What do you know? What do you know? You'll like this quote, Matt, because it's from Dave Smith. The far left has become indistinguishable from online trolls. Yeah, that's a good quote. It's true. It's been true. The thing was, when there was no way to counteract the point, that it just felt like that was the mainstream. When it was perceptively felt like the mainstream. You had no way to contradict it online. You had no contrary narratives in the mainstream media. They only existed in these little pockets. That's why when Jordan Peterson did Rogan, for the first few times, it was like, holy shit. The second coming, like just someone who cut through all the shit and summed up and explained so many things that I'd been seeing and a lot of people had been seeing. We didn't understand what the hell was going on. It was just like, wah, fog lifted. Could finally see, and someone else gets it, and he's articulating it. And then he knows all the activist scholarship of where it all came from. My God. It was big. It was big. That was the narrative. That was the conversation. Disagreeing with it didn't really exist except for, thunk right-wing media, which, all due respect, talk about propaganda. That just exists in its own echo chamber so much that it's completely irrelevant to anyone who doesn't follow it. So this was like right in the middle, like finally someone talking a different conversation. Wake down. Bro, I teach English to first and third graders in Southeast Asia using textbooks produced in Singapore, and woke activism is embedded into every lesson. Whoa. I wonder what Wake Down's interpretation of woke activism is, though. He's like, they say they should hold hands and be nice to each other. What's this woke shit? What's this woke shit? Learn to share? Oh, yeah, okay, commie. I wonder what Wakedown's perception of woke propaganda is. The propaganda thing wasn't boring in the 80s when Hollywood still knew how to make us empathize with liberal ideas and agendas. Yeah, well, it wasn't sound the alarm. Someone's gonna interfere with our liberal world order and disrupt everything we want, and everyone in power is gonna be one of our friends. No, this crazy orange guy is here to shake everything up, kick us out of the party. They didn't want that. Globo homo will not be stopped. Globo homo. Let me see here. What else we got? D. Hello. Michael. As a token Marxist, woke zombie libtard, my completely made up self-righteous opinion is that all art is not political, but all politics is art. Oh, God. He's trying to be smart. Ooh, whoa. Hold on, guys. I need a minute to go. Whoa. Okay. Oh, I barely grasped on the concept, Mike. That's so up there, man. If you're listening to JP, you still don't understand what's going on. I think when he first came out, I don't listen to him anymore, but when he first came out, I thought he had a lot of good stuff to say. I thought he was cutting through a lot of shit and making a lot of sense. Me and Michael have had conversations about the ups and downs and values of Jordan Peterson. And I think especially when he was early. Look, if you've had no insight into what's going on, if you didn't understand any of it, he's a great introduction to understanding some of it. Okay, I did like that. Wait, what's this? Matt, don't make me get Eugene in here to school you on relationships again. Eugene, what am I not getting? Eugene. You mean Jim Norton's character? That Eugene. What am I feel like I should be getting this. My brain's like, the neurons are trying to connect, but nothing's connecting. Thank you, Zax. Jordan Peterson was great. For a bit. Yes, for a bit. He's absolutely run his course. And now he just sort of exists like, he just exists sort of the way certain fixtures do. I mean, the problem I think with like a lot of right-wing, people, they burst on the scene. They have really cool contributions at first, and then they just kind of start. They're just sort of there now. Like I saw not Dave Smith. Who's the gay PragerU guy? What is his name? You know what I'm talking about? Someone in the chat will know. I saw a video from him. Why he left the left, what he thought about business, and you're like, that's Dave Rubin. I was like, that was a cool video. I like this guy. All right, yeah. And then you're just like, never mind. No, never mind. Candace Owens, has that great moment in Congress. If there were a list of 100 things that black people need to be concerned about, white supremacy wouldn't even be on it. You're like, whoa, badass. I grew up poor and this, that, and then you're just like, all right, actually, never mind. I'm kind of good on this, Ben Shapiro goes on Joe Rogan. You're like, shit, this is some based ass shit he's saying. This is interesting. I like this. And you're just like, liberal tear mugs. You're like, all right, okay. Like Stephen Crowder, like I'm going to college campuses and I'm going to be like, change my mind. I'm going to go right into the belly of the beast and argue with these guys. You're like, oh, pretty sick. And then it's just like, oh, I script my entire show and like I need to be the coolest guy in the room all the time. And mug club. You're like, okay, actually not into any of you guys, Each one of them has this cool moment and then fucking never mind, dude. Never mind. I'm good. I'm actually really good on all that. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. She's not hot. Not beautiful. Oh, God. Jordan Peterson was great before he got famous. Now he's dressing like Two-Face and simping for them. Boy, fucking Wakedown's really going hard on the chosen people out there. Come on now. Listen, take it easy. Ah, yes. Ha. I love that speech Candace Owens gave. Wow, you're a little fired up about all this, huh? You're starting to connect the dots. You're starting to see. You're like, oh, sorry, I'm just noticing things. I'm a professional noticer. Keep noticing the early life. Don't know why. Just seems to be connected. Oh my God. How dare you, Matt? They're fighting for the soul of your country, man. That was maybe the most cringe one, was Steven Crowder saying that while, airing out the dirty contract negotiations of like the Daily Wire and like his like 25 mil or something. And he's doing it for you. He's doing it for you, not for more money, not for 32 million. Oh my God. Thank you, Sentient Diddle. Yes, we do. And you have a right to exist. I love you very, very much. I'm not trying to sell you a thermos, Wake Down. I'm not. Ruben. Yeah, where did you get Eugene from? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, cool. Yeah, Ruben. Oh, good old Ruben. Boy, we love Ruben. Where is it? Is it this one? No. Oh, man, I blew it. Oh, well. Ruben's great. God bless him. God bless him. All right, so I thought that was an interesting little rabbit hole. It took me down there from being like, oh, is Beyonce dead? And they're like, oh, Beyonce's in front of the flag. It's propaganda. All art is political. And she said it with that confidence of those sort of leftists, those like leftist professor people, activisty, woke, HR types, where they're just like, as Stuart Hall teaches us, as if this is indisputable, that came down from on high, all art is propaganda. It's like all art is propaganda to political activists. Yes, absolutely. Because it's not everything you think, say, and do is activisty to change, to affect your social change. So, yeah, if that art isn't about what you're about, then in your mind, it's against what you're about. Because that's the only way you see the world, with us or against us. Yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, there is another story, and there's a few stories, but I'm going to break up before I get into the last big one, just because I'm getting a little tired of fucking talking. This is pretty funny. Now, I don't know. It's another I want it to be true, I don't know if it is, but I want it to be true. Let's see here. Bam. Okay. Donald Trump himself posted this. I don't know if that makes it more valid or not, but I want it to be true. I really do. So I'll just to set it up. If you're not fucking chronically online like myself, Jimmy Carter died, R.I.P. And at the funeral or the wake or the service or something, there's a picture of like Donald and Obama looking pretty chummy, which was like, what? That's wild. Like, George Bush doesn't even shake Donald's hand. And like him, like, you see Obama sitting next to him, just fucking laughing, just having a good time, like two chums. You're like, Obama and Donald Trump get along. What? Is it all professional wrestling? Have I been duped again? But this is something Trump put out. I don't know if this is a joke or if this is his remembering of the situation or what, but here we go.
Well, Mr. President.
For a second time. Barack, very nice to see you.
Congratulations. So how you doing?
I'm a lot better, Dan.
Yeah, I bet. Knew you'd win.
Oh, really? Well, come on. Anyone could beat her.
Kidding
She's
me?
just...
I was just as appalled. You know what happened? You just didn't want to leave.
I know.
Is what happened. I did what I could to help her. She was horrendous.
I know. You know what I realized? Hillary still hates me. So much. I know. She'll never forget me. We should meet to discuss
I
it.
think so too. We can definitely set something up. Let me know whatever
Oh, we
works
got-
best for you.
I was gonna fly back to Florida tomorrow for the golf.
Okay.
Hold on. I just want to pause for a second. Senator Diddle says, don't worry, Matt. The Avengers will drain the swamp. Wakedown says it is all pro wrestling. WWE for people with college degrees. Hollywood for ugly old people. If that was true, why the fuck did the entire world conspire to make sure this guy couldn't get elected? If it's just normal, everyday politics as usual, why the hell did every social media platform ban him? Why did they, force suppression of information, use all of our counterintelligence abilities against the American people? It's just another guy. It's just another guy, really, that they all collectively did not want in there. Even the Republicans, if you'll remember, the first time around, didn't want Trump in. No one wanted him in, except for the American people. I don't know. That sounds different to me. This doesn't sound like, Bush and Obama are still friends and Obama just carried on, more of Bush's policies under a nice, charming black guy face. This seems much, much different to me. Maybe I'm just a rube. Maybe I'm just a naive little boy, but I don't think so. That is a good question, Sunshine Dildo. That is a good. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's only holy water. Maybe it's like she can go into the church, but she touches the holy water, she ignites in flames. All the green ooze starts bursting out of her face, and her dragon demon form reveals itself. I don't know. It is a good question, though. Maybe it's like an incantation. Maybe she's just an android. Maybe she's not even in that room. Maybe she's piloting it from another room. I don't know.
Did you see that? She won't even look at me.
Really? I was told some of her people. Apparently they said she fell off the wagon.
I think she actually may have. Sure. And also, she's not really built for this. Amount pressure, if you're not built for it, will do it.
Pretty funny. As I'm watching that again, it feels like so AI manipulated, so it might just be a joke. Is that Danny Polishuk? Did Danny Polishuk dupe me into thinking that maybe that was real? And now, obviously, I don't think that was a real video, but I'm wondering if it was like Trump was having a little bit of fun, being like, yeah, this is what we were saying. These were the jokes we were making. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. There was a moment from that funeral as well where, what's his name? Bush comes back to obviously doesn't look at Trump because he hates Trump, but gives Obama one of these to the stomach, the chest, kind of what's up, bro, kind of vibe, and you're just like Obama, right? If anything you said was even mildly true, you look at that guy as a genuine war criminal. How are you friends with that guy? That's where I'm like, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all WWE. It's all kayfabe. It's all nonsense. I just don't see it with this Trump guy. I don't. I'm shaking all this shit up. Fucking, who's the guy that wants to, for the FBI, that he wants to get all the FBI agents actually, out of Washington and doing, crime stopping. You know what I mean? RFK actually talking about real health issues, not fancy fucking bullshit words that mean nothing. Actually the problems. Tulsi Gabbard, who was listed as a Russian asset, is head of all intelligence agencies. Dude, this is different. I maybe they're all lying. Maybe they're all lizard people. I don't know. If that's the case, I think I will need a little help for my future depression. Sentient dildo. Wake Down, it's nice to see that your ceaseless cynicism has not changed at all. That there is still that just plowing right ahead with the most negative take on everything. That's good. That's good. Matt name dropping obscure NYC comedians like a boss. Who did I don't even know which one I said.
I like the jokey jokes. Yeah, they're funny.
All the people you just named are Democrats. Yeah, former Democrats, dude. Former is the word. That's the point. They jumped ship. I was a lib. Big lib. Till I moved to California, and I was like, whoa, you guys are going a little hard. You're a little crazy. All of a sudden, wait, what's white privilege? What are all these concepts? I was a lib. A lot of people were, man. You grow out of it. Because it's just not, it's not the right. Oh, Danny. Oh, I listen to the Boys Cast fucking all day, dude. I listen to Boys Cast every week. immediately the second it comes out. I fucking love that shit. Huge Boys Cast fan. I didn't leave the... All right. You and Wake Down are just fucking... Like the old men in the Muppets. Oh, you think Trump's gonna do it? Just getting heckled. Just getting roasted. All right. That was fun. Oh, I don't know if anyone cares. This is... Nah, fuck it. Whatever. No one gives a shit. Okay. Trump. Obama. All right. Let's talk about it. Los Angeles. Los Angeles is burning down. Michael said, I used to be a lib, and then I continued to being a lib. Yeah, you just went deeper. You just went deep in that cave, bro. You're like all the way in the belly of the beast, man. You're looking for that diamond that motivates the whole machine, the whole mechanism. Oh God, shit. All right, LA's on fire, folks. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's kind of a big story, kind of a big deal. Los Angeles is burning the fuck down. Interesting. Okay, so you know, used to live in Los Angeles, 10 years in that area. There were fires like all the time. It was actually pretty common. Like, you ever see that video of someone, like, you know, when they're driving down the road and like everything's on fire? I actually lived that one time. I drove down what's called the 405, which is like a major highway in Los Angeles, and it was like down into like LA proper, and both sides of the mountains were just on fire. Like, it was wild. Like, it was like, it looked like you're driving through hell. Like, everything, it was crazy. But you know, some houses burn down, some things happen, but it's never really, it's part of living out there. It's like the earthquakes. You know, I lived through a few earthquakes. No big deal. It's just part of living out there. This one, though, is not. This isn't normal. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill fire. This, I think, is the biggest wildfire in California history, which is kind of insane. And when you see those pictures, those before and after pictures of those neighborhoods in California, is pretty wild. Let me see here. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I never really, like, my mom used to, sometimes the fires would be raging and she's like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Mom, if I'm ever in danger where I lived, you will know, because the entire city will be burning down and it'll be a national disaster. Don't worry. I will never be in danger of these fires." That's not necessarily the case anymore. Now, granted, I never lived in the Pacific Palisades, which is a really nice neighborhood. But, like, you know, I lived, like, south or north of, like, the Hollywood Hills, which, like, Studio City, where that was really starting to become, like, that was a real thing. That's not one of the more serious places, but it could have been. So this is the image from, let me hold on, put myself smaller here. There we go. This is the before and after. Like, all of those homes burned to the ground, gone. Like, never thought I would see that, having lived out there. Did not think that this was really all that possible, because I figured, you know, these things happen. Like, these, you know, fires burn. It happens in LA all the time. It's not like that big of a deal. Well, this one is that big of a deal. And I talked to some people out there, some of my friends, you know, checking in to make sure that they're okay and everything. And they're fine. Like, my friends are fine, but they, you know, some of them kind of libs being like, "Fucking Newsom, fucking the mayor, that fucking dork who runs the fire department." Like, they were not thrilled about the situation. And it is pretty interesting, I think, you know, because it's like there's definitely a lot of opportunities for the right, Republicans and stuff, to illustrate the incompetence of Los Angeles and Democrats, which I think is very fair. excuse me, and seems very true, right? Like there was stories of fire hydrants not firing out water when they turn them on. That's what? Like in an area known for wildfires, how is that possible? They cut the funding of the LA Fire Department by $17 million. What is that? There was no BLM against the fire department. Why are you doing that? And then of course there's the viral video of the short, fat, diverse woman who's the firefighter, and they're like, well, people are saying, I wouldn't be able to carry, your husband out of a burning building, and she's just like, well, if you're in there, you got yourself into a bad situation, not my problem. It's just like, yo, that's out of a Babylon Bee sketch. And I'd be like, come on, that's too much, but yeah, no, really wild. But beyond that, the story is pretty nuts. So they're going with what I saw, the Palisades fire left over from New Year's Eve. There was the fire, and just there's fireworks, and they lit on fire, and it's like, okay, but I saw aerial footage of all three fires being lit at the exact same time. Like, I don't know how accurate that footage was, but I did see it. And then, like, I was talking to my buddy, who was my neighbor back in LA. He's like, these arsonists are getting arrested, and they're like geared up. And there was a guy that just happened, another arsonist, and that's something too that I don't remember ever happening. I don't remember there being like copycat arsonists. Like I said, these fires happen all the time, regularly, like a few a year. It was not uncommon for these to happen regularly. But firefighters catch second arsonist in act of starting new blazes in LA days after cops arrest illegal immigrant with blowtorch. I mean, what an LA headline that is, really. What a brilliantly LA headline. A man has been arrested after firefighters caught him actively lighting fires in Los Angeles County has emerged. Ruben Montez, was arrested for arson in Sunday in Irvingdale, California, roughly 16 miles away from Altadena, where the deadly Eaton fire continues to rage. Firefighters responded to a small brush fire in Irvingdale when they witnessed Montez starting blazes in the area, police have confirmed. He was detained by police officers at the scene and ultimately arrested for arson. Details surrounding the incident are limited, and police have not revealed where Montez was booked. Police have also not revealed whether he was responsible for starting the brush fire or any of the blazes that allegedly have caused damage. It is also unclear if he has any ties to the other fires ravaging LA. His arrest comes just days after an illegal immigrant was detained for allegedly setting a fire in Calabasas, west of Beverly Hills. The catastrophic LA fires have killed 24 people and burned more than 40,000 acres. Like, I tweeted something about it the other day, and it was because I was annoyed, because it was a little early on in the story of these fires, and I looked into it. And because I was curious, I was like, how bad is this really getting? And the first thing I see was these celebrities lost their homes or had to be evacuated. And I was like, man, who fucking gives a shit? But then you start to see it's actually kind of wild. There's a lot of celebrities whose entire homes were burned down. And it's like, dude, a lot of them. You're and so you start to see all these people, they're you kind of feel like they're protected, right? They have magical celebrity force fields around their properties. That could never happen to them. And no, it's crazy. It is crazy how many homes are just burnt to the ground. All your shit, all of your everything gone. You're starting over. That's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine losing everything at all. Now, I saw something else too, and it was a lot of people were denied fire insurance because California, in all its wisdom, decided that certain insurance rates couldn't go up. So insurance companies, being businesses and not fucking charities, couldn't maintain the costs and had to just drop people. So instead of them getting coverage that, maybe spending more on getting the coverage, they got no coverage. And so those people's houses burned down and they didn't even have fire insurance. So now they don't get shit. Cool. Government needs to stay the fuck out of business and just let business run itself. They never make it better. They always make it worse. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? What are y'all saying? Sup, boners? Hello, Janet Banana. Hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Disease in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How long to get the gay to wash out after leaving? That's pretty funny. I feel like it ain't going anywhere. One of those houses that no longer exists was built by my grandfather. No shit. That sucks. That fucking sucks, man. That is a real shame. It's crazy, the devastation. I never expected to see this. Now, I know there was that tweet or that clip going around with Rogan talking about how, he talked to a firefighter who said, this type of thing is gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. But I never really believed it. I never really thought that this would actually enter the city and just smoke full-on neighborhoods. And I guess those fires are still raging last I checked. I don't know. That's crazy. I wonder if water could have helped maybe. Yeah, I mean, crazy thought. I don't know if maybe they didn't think about that, It's definitely not the time to politicize it either, okay? Let's not do that. Let's not point the finger at the fact that LA is out of control with all its DEI and fucking crazy lib nonsense and defunded their own fire department in a place that regularly burns. Let's not focus. Let's not politicize it, guys. That's just not a good look. Janet Banana, my mom's childhood home, her high school where she and her dad were married, gone. Whoa. Damn, dude. That's crazy. Like, I was listening to Tom Segura talk about it. And Tom moved to Austin a few years ago. And he was saying, like, the house that he lived in, gone. The neighborhood, like all like his friends and family or neighbors' houses, gone. The Starbucks they used to go to, gone. The school that they were going to go to, gone. Just all of it gone. Like I genuinely am still having like trouble like wrapping my mind around that, Like I said, I'd see those fires and you'd lose a house or two here and there. Shit would happen, but it was never to this level. Never entire neighborhoods like that. I've never heard of anything like that. I don't think it's ever happened, man. It's pretty wild. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who needs firemen and water? Send those funds to the local queer choir. Fucking Sentient Dildo is so well read. I don't know what maybe he really is just like a computer program who lives on the internet. He's always got all the information, all the details, always up on stuff, and just acts like he doesn't care or know anything. I don't even know. And I was evacuated too. Jesus Christ almighty. Christ almighty. They cut the program, sold the water. Who could have seen this coming? Yeah. They also shipped most of the equipment to the Ukraine. Is that true? I haven't heard that accusation yet. Might be. Oh, God. The civil rights movement, those hoses gave BLM PTSD. Yeah, we just find fire hoses have just a very negative connotation with people of color and diverse peoples of Los Angeles, so we will not be using them as they do trigger memories of when this country was in a much worse place. Yes. That honestly doesn't even sound all that far-fetched. Come on, bro. We all know what this was. 'Twas God's punishment for all the butt stuff. God don't like butt stuff. I've heard people trying to make that. Janet Banana says God hasn't tried butt stuff if that's the case. That's funny. That's pretty funny. All right, you guys are getting wild. Getting wild in the chat. All of our biggest fires here start naturally, and then some dickhead goes and covers a national park in gasoline, and those ones get massive. Where is here, Big Chip? Where do you live? What part of the country is that? Yeah, all right. That's upper echelon celebrity privilege only, Matt? Yeah, I guess so. I guess you have to win like a few Oscars. You have to be like deep family in this in that world. Oh my God. Parrothead, what's up, dog? Think about how many historic locations are now piles of rubble and ash. I know. It's crazy. I mean, to be fair, many historical locations in Los Angeles pre-fire were just piles of rubble and trash. But, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And look, it's not like there are genuinely just normal people being affected. Like I said, I have friends out there, you know what I mean? Still live out there. And if their shit burned down, I'd be really upset about it, obviously. And a lot of people are, it's easy to kind of fuck California and shit like that. But, this is fucked up. This is really fucked up. And it's, I don't know. It's wild. I'm not really joining in on the rah-rah, especially because it's I got friends and shit out there. But it kind of seems a lot like the New Orleans, Katrina, where they kept trying to push the natural disaster part. And it's it's not though. It was all corruption and incompetence. That's what this sounds like. This LA fire doesn't sound like, oh, this was just a natural. Well, sometimes bad things happen. It's when you open the fire hydrants and water doesn't come out, and you cut $17 million out of the fire department's budget to in a place that is in the desert and catches fire, and then after all this, you're blaming climate change. It's a little hard to not point the finger at the establishment of California and kind of, that's what you vote for. It's it's kind of fair. It's kind of a reasonable take to a degree. I don't think it's all that cool, but I kind of get it. Wait, Matt, I sent you a link on Twitter since I know you like sources for my wild claims. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Alao Gabolas? When can we expect another Friday night drop? We need a Ruben update. I don't know. But Big Ship, now that you're here, I did announce that I did a poll, which I hope that you saw. It was a members-only poll. And I said that I would, gave the options: solo stream, game stream, or member stream. The voting was all member streams, so we will be doing member streams. If you want to hop on and shoot the shit, members are welcome. All members, all tiers, all levels are welcome to come on. I think I'm going to be doing it Thursday nights. We'll go for a few hours. We'll just be another episode of the MFer Podcast. We'll talk, whatever wild stories of the day, shoot the shit, make jokes. You can tell your story, tell your tales. It's going to be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, there's a lot of those conspiracy theories going around, Zax. There's a lot of people had a lot of dirt they wanted covered up. I heard DEW. I don't know if anyone saw that. I saw that all over the place. People want to buy up cheap real estate. They want to restructure the city for all this new grand world vision. I don't know how much any of that is true. I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Okay. You actually do have some source. Wait, down. Now that is surprising. And this is from news12.com, 12news.com. What is this website? I don't know this website. I don't know this news outlet. Is this a real news source, or is this just a news source? Shit, I kind of lost my track there. Oh, anyway, whatever. We'll share Wakedown's crazy shit. There we go. Okay, so this is 12 News. I don't know. It sounds a tad suspicious, but we'll see. Yes, the Los Angeles County Fire Department donated surplus equipment to Ukraine. That is hilarious. I mean, how goddamn perfect is that? If that's the case, I mean, it's just so... Put a bow on it, Like I said, it's not cool. I feel bad for, Janet Banana, Like I said, luckily my friends have been spared, but it's scary. And if shit keeps to rage, Apparently winds are going to be 80 to 100 miles an hour coming up this week. That's for real. That's concerning. The extra equipment was donated 3 years ago and had been sitting in storage. I also heard that there were a bunch of, look at this motherfucker. Hell yeah, boy. Very cool, Big Ship. I appreciate that, homie. It's gonna be a crowded Thursday, my guy. That sounds awesome. It would just be like the old times. It would be like another cocktail lounge. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I'll put the making it rain indeed. That's fucking cool as hell, man. I really appreciate that. I will. I'll put the link into like a members post. We can all get a little loaded, talk a little bit of shit, have a lot of fun, get wild with it. It's gonna be nuts, dude. It's gonna be nuts, dude. Oh, that's right. Right. Before I got into this, the DEWs, that there was like, it was all from like space lasers. Jewish space lasers were doing it. That's a good one. I like those theories. Those are fun. And those just run wild on X now. No way to stop those. Blue. The color blue doesn't burn or some shit. I don't know. I get into these a little bit, but the thing about conspiracy theory and stuff like that is that people are really... they get a little, hyped up without a whole lot of sources and validations and backing up of their information. They just get into it and go nuts. You're like, all right, pretty wild. Okay. Several wildfires have ravaged LA this week, fueled by dangerously high winds and prolonged dry conditions and climate change. Thank you very much. The unfavorable weather conditions, number of fires, and scale of fires have made it difficult for local firefighters to contain the blazes. But some people on social media have appeared to imply the current struggle to contain the wildfires could be related to the fact that a single Los Angeles Fire Department, donated surplus equipment to Ukraine in 2022. The claim was amplified by Donald Trump Jr. The question, did they do it? Yes. What we found. Los Angeles Fire announces donating surplus equipment to help. So the surplus equipment include hoses, nozzles, turnouts, helmets, body armor, and other associated protective equipment. I do feel like they could have used that. How much are we talking? How many? I don't know. I wonder what the impact of that is, but I tell you what, as a story, as a headline, pitch perfect. That is absolutely brilliant. YouTube won't let me join Foulball Productions. Weird. You have to, you got to turn on, you have to accept memberships. You have to allow yourself to accept memberships. Then you can be gifted them. But you can't, it'll automatically do it. Who joined? You gifted 10 memberships. Well, who took them? Did anybody? I hope so. But yeah, make sure you turn on the ability to accept memberships. I forget how you do that. I think you have to like do it in the chat or something. Uh-oh. Sentient Dildo sharing a link, never a good thing. Never a good thing. But yeah, guys, just make sure if you wanna accept Big Ship's very generous memberships, you gotta make sure you can turn them on. Then you can get accepted them automatically. Then you can join on Thursday, and Thursday's gonna get fucking wild. It's gonna get crazy. I'm a little worried what you shared here, Sentient Dildo. All right. All right. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. D.
How we're moving.
One drunk man is more intelligent than 3 women with PhDs.
Thank you so much.
That's the
thank you so much.
That's the
Thank you so much.
That's the
Mr.
Dude, the rest of the world does misogyny so much better than we do it. We are Bush League misogynists, dude. God, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, they do misogyny right, dude. We are such scrubs, man. We can only learn, you know? We're all apprentices. Oh. Yeah, turn on your ability to accept memberships if you want his generous gift. And then the gift of being able to come on my show and talk to me. The gift recipients are listed in the chat. Oh, are they? I'm fucking stupid. I am dumb. Yes, I am. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, I see. Parrothead, sick. Mike DiCarlo, sick. Josh, Red Shirt. Brad Young. Vidge, nice. Joe's Atmosphere. Machismo. K. Ravenwolf. And New Bomb Turk. Let's go. How many of them are even here? It's weird how people who aren't even here can get that. Sencha Dildo does not want to support me. He will not be part of any financial support of me. Although I at some point, I remember back in our history, you did send me some kind of a super chat. I don't remember what it was for. Might have been like an anniversary or a birthday or something like that. I remember there was one. And then one time, we even got you to make a Rumble account so you could go watch the other half of the podcast with me and Vidge. Now, I haven't asked Vidge formally. I hope that he'll say yes. But I want to have Vidge on next week. Because I love Vidge and I love hanging out with him and talking to him. But also because the Lions will be playing that weekend. And we all know Vidge is a big Lions fan. And obviously I hope they win. But I do want, see? What a good guy. What a good guy. He said it for a friend. See? I knew it. He has a heart. I knew somewhere in that cold Croatian soul, there is a heart. You're a good man. You're a good man. Yeah, that was a fucked up situation, dude. She was in bad shape. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'd like to talk about the Lions with Vidge. So hopefully next week I'll be able to have him on, and we can talk and have some fun, dude. Have some fun. Let's fucking go, Lions, indeed, bro. Always streams too late. V-dubs, I know. It's always in the middle of the night. Always in the middle of the night. And it grew 4 sizes that day. Yeah. All right. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the MFer Podcast. I appreciate you guys. Wait down. I'll start sending you super chats, but you have to be ready. Whatever insanity, I type it out. Oh, what's up, Paulie? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man, I'm back. I've been back for a little while. MFer Podcast has been back for a few months now. Been hitting every Monday, dude. Hitting every Monday. And now, every Thursday, going to be doing member streams. That'll be live. So it'll be like a bonus episode. Plus, I did like a game stream last week. I'll probably be picking that back up. You know, just having a good old time here on YouTube with the dogs. With the fucking dogs. But yeah, like I said, next week, I'm going to try to have Vidge on. No guarantees. I know it's a little fucked up for me to ask him. I didn't even ask him and mention it on air, so I'm kind of like pressuring him. But I'd really like to have Vidge on so we could talk about the Lions and all that good shit. Yeah, so check me out Thursday. We're doing our first member stream. It's going to be a lot. And fucking Big Ship just made it rain and just gave a whole lot of people some memberships. So it could be like one of the old days. Could be like a cocktail lounge where everything becomes a total shit show. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I'm super excited, though. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm glad I'm finally giving some content, some value to your membership. So, yeah, fuck yeah. Hit that like button on the way out the door. Please do. Leave a comment, you know. Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you get podcasts, all that good shit. And I'll be seeing you guys. I'll be seeing you guys on Thursday if you're there. All right, pals and gals. Y'all have a great night. Peace out. Peace out.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!